Hi there, my name is Mutolani Babalola and welcome to my space. So, why am I smiling extra? I'm smiling extra because I made myself up. Yes, I made myself up and I'm excited about it. This is also one thing that one skill, right? Might not sound serious, but then it's serious because looking good is good business. It's one skill that I picked up towards the end of the year. I'm still learning. I started a makeup class just so I would know how to, glam up when I need to by myself. And hey, yeah, I am. One thing that also has shown me or has revealed is that we women, we love to look good. With or without makeup, we know how to look good. We know the kind of dresses that would suit our skin. We know how to show up. We know how to show off. We know how to show out, right? Imagine, just look at all our Owambe parties. The women, they are never to be caught on fresh. We know how to really look good and take care of ourselves, of our spaces, of our homes. But there's something that we also need to take with so much attention. So yes, we women, we know that looking good or taking care of things that we care for is real business. But there's another aspect of our lives that I think I should speak to today, and that's our businesses, small businesses. Of course, big brands, big businesses, they have structure, they have a robust team to handle things, and you have numerous people thinking about moving the business forward from different perspectives. But for small businesses, SMEs, small businesses are just starting out with a very lean team, or maybe it's even a one-man team. We are mainly, sometimes we say, oh, these businesses are just driven by making profits. And while yes, businesses are founded to make profits, there's also something else that businesses should do. They offer solutions, because it's only when you offer solutions to your customers that they find you worthy to do businesses with you, and then you get profit or you're paid, right? Interestingly, in our own country, Nigeria, women entrepreneurs form a very large bulk of the population of entrepreneurs in Nigeria. And we all know that the informal sector, or the informal sector, I will call it, that's because there's really no structure to it. That informal sector contributes a large amount to the nation's GDP. So there's a lot of potential. It's a thriving and a booming sector, and we have women doing great stuff, whether in the informal sector or informal sector. But then small businesses being run, or small businesses being led by women, right? And I think about it that as much as we look good, we take care of ourselves, we know that our outlook plays a very important role in how we show up to places or in our spaces. Do we pay that amount of attention to our businesses? We are more sales driven, more profit oriented, that we forget that we are actually building brands, and building a brand is not child's play. It's not child's play, because beyond the profits, beyond the numbers, there are things that behind the scenes can catapult your businesses higher than you think, beyond it to scale heights, right? And you see other businesses doing well, 3xing, 5xing, 10xing what you make as revenue, and you think, what's the difference? My product or my service is quality. I'm doing all that I can, but I'm not getting as much result as I should. That's what I'm not getting as much results as I should. And sometimes the difference between brand A and brand B is branding. You've heard about branding, and I know your fears, I know your concerns. You say, oh, it's just another avenue to take my money, to spend my money, to increase my overhead costs, or to increase my expense, because it's not necessary. But I want to tell you something. If you have a great business and you're offering a solution that is really, really, really a solution, you shouldn't let branding slide. It means that branding will back up all that you say your brand is, and it will show it, it will package it and tell that story beautifully, so that it makes it very, very, very impossible for anyone to resist your brand, especially your target audience. So I will start off with saying, why did you even start out your brand? The way I will address this, or the way I will address this concept of branding, will be in two phases. I want to address people that already from the onset, they knew why they started their businesses. They knew why they founded their businesses. For instance, a clothing brand that I know online started there are two co-founders. I think it's Busty something. Yeah, I think Busty. I can't really remember the full name, but I listened to the founders' story, and they had mentioned that the reason they started the brand was because they were not plus-sized ladies, but they were big at the front, right? They are busty, and it was just really hard to find clothes that fit, because it is not just about being a size 8 or a size 10, because you can be a size 8 but then your front is not a size 8, and it was just very hard for them to get dresses or clothes that fit. In fact, they find very beautiful clothes, but it doesn't fit exactly, and it just feels like no one is paying attention to them. And that was what just inspired the two founders to create that business, to solve a solution for busty people. That, you can look nice, you can be busty, but you will still look nice, and you would not need to sweat before you get a dress that fits you. That's a solution. They know their why. They know why they had set out to create that brand. So really, it goes to ask yourself again, why did I start out this business? Beyond even making profits, beyond saying, I just needed to live by, or maybe that's not even it, but beyond making profit, why did I start out this business? You see, that why is very important to answer, because a lot of other things will stem from answering why. Then I'll move on to say that what's the story? What's the story behind your brand, behind your business? You think it is all, there's no big deal. Why? What do you mean by what's the story? There's a story, because when you ask yourself these important questions, you would know that there is a story behind your brand. Why you started the brand? What moved you to start the brand? What was it like starting the brand? There's a story. And what's the vision for the brand in the next 5 years, in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years? All of this will form your story. Now, your branding and how you look, your brand is, I would say, is how people see you, see your business, not you as a person. How people see your business, how people perceive your business, how people interact with your business. When they come in contact with your business, how do they feel? What's their response, right? What do they see? What do they hear? What can they feel? What's the total experience? So it's the sum total of the experience that you offer or you give to your customer, right? So branding goes beyond just having a logo. When we start a business, the first thing we think about is, I need a logo. Once you get a name for your brand, you say, I need a logo. But you know that before even getting your logo, your why is important. The story behind your brand is important. And then, so branding goes beyond just your logo. It goes beyond just that. All right, I think at this point, I need to wear my glasses. I've shown my makeup for some time now, right? So let me wear my glasses, because my eyes are teary already. And I just need to, you can say this is part of my branding. Yes, sometimes you'll catch me without my glasses, but most times, especially if I'm outside the house or I'm at work, I'm usually with my glasses. It's part of my identity, right? Most times. So I remember the last point I made was that Branding is not just about your logo. Because when we're about to start a business, some people will just be like, okay, so the name of my brand is so and so. Oh yeah, I need to create a logo. But it goes beyond that. Like I said, it's about being intentional, right? Why did you start that business? What's the story behind it? There are questions that you can answer that would help you craft a compelling story as to why, your who, that is who your brand is, what your brand is, what the vision for your brand is in the next 2 years, 3 years. What's that solution you're bringing on board? And don't think that, oh, it's not that deep, I just want to sell and make money. It is that deep. If you want to be different from every other brand, and if you look at successful brands and you see that, oh, they 10x, they 50x the revenue they make, they are doing something differently. You think about big brands, large corporate organizations, what sets them apart, right? It is a perception, what people feel, what people think. Do people trust you? Do people trust the brand? And you see, all of this is not because there is one jazz that anybody does anywhere. It is just branding, right? And branding means intentionality, taking your brand even more serious than you've taken it so far. Right? So, like I said, why did you start out, right? Beyond the profit, because it's fine. Many of us would, start our businesses because we just wanted to make profits, and that's okay too. But beyond that, right? It's time to reevaluate. Why did you start it? What solution are you bringing on board? It might seem mundane to you, but it's not mundane. People have varying needs. The customers that brands serve in this world of today have varying needs. It might seem very insignificant, but there are brands that bring in solution or solving particular problem. They are offering solutions, right? For me now, let me say for me, I have teary eyes. I easily get teary, and sometimes it can be very uncomfortable wearing makeup for too long. I start itching my eyes and all of that. And someone might just think about it that, what, my own makeup brand is going to be for highly sensitive or women with very highly sensitive eyes. How do I make products or formulations that solve that? It seems very little, but that's a solution. So what I'm saying is, your brand has a solution that it is solving for. Your business has a solution that it's solving for. And you just need to be able to answer it. Be very intentional to know why you are doing what you're doing. What solution are you bringing on board for your customers? Okay. So yes, so branding goes beyond your logo. It goes beyond your name. It's a sum total of the experience people that interact or engage or buy from you feel. Right? People that engage with your brand, people that do business with you, how do they feel? What's the perception they have about your brand? What do they say of you, of your brand, when they're speaking to someone else, or when they want to say something about your brand? What do they say? Now, branding helps put all of that into perspective. Branding helps with packaging, and when you solve a problem, branding plus a brand that solves or that offers real solution, fantastic combo. So branding is not about, oh, you have a fashion brand and then you sew mini skirts, and I know I'm shading some fashion businesses. You sew mini skirts and a top, and then you call it a Orekelewa collection, and then you place a price tag that seems very ridiculous. Remember that your customers are not dumb. They are not dumb. People are not dumb. People know, people have options. But if, for instance, your own brand is saying that I am into sustainable fashion, where every resource, or what's that now, raw material, or the materials I put together to make my fashion brand, they are actually sustainably sourced. They are sourced ethically. Even my staff, they are paid and treated well, right? Just sustainability in every sense of it. And that's what makes me different, because I am saying that I'm not just making profit with this brand, but I'm also ethically responsible for how I show up and do business, right? It will make sense if I then charge a premium or a particular amount for my brand, because I am positioned differently, and I'm actually authentic. I'm saying the truth because it's the truth, right? So branding helps amplify those stories, amplify the why behind your brand, right? So like I said, and I know I've said it like a million times, because people think that branding is all about having a logo. It's not just about having a logo, right? It goes beyond that. It's a sum total of the experience your brand promises to its customers. How do people feel when they see your brand? It goes beyond just the colors, but how do the colors make them feel? Is it supposed to make them feel warm? Is it supposed to make them feel like the next how do they say it, the next best thing after sliced bread? But how do they feel? Colors, they have a psychological effect on us. When they use your brand, is your brand promising, keeping to its promise? This brand, this phone will do so and so. Is it doing that when I use it? When I buy it, is it using it? So is it trustworthy? Because all of this makes up your brand. When I pick up maybe my phone to talk to someone that represents your brand or works with you, how do I feel? Do I feel respected? Do I feel being listened to? Or does the person on the other end of the phone make me feel like he or she is doing me a favor? I'm the one that wants to share, buy something, right? But I'm just saying it's a sum total of the experience, right? When people interact with your brand, what they see, what they feel, what they hear, what they say about your brand. So think about it from every aspect, from all aspects. That how do I want people to feel about my brand when they touch it? If it's something that they can touch, when they hear about my brand, what do I want them to think? When they see my brand, what do I want them to see? And that is when you will be so concerned about, okay, the look and feel of my brand, the colors. These colors are too dark. They do not represent the kind of feeling I want my customers to have. These colors are too bright. It's supposed to just be neutral. It's conservative. It's all you. It's all your brand, right? What they see. And yes, and that's what also informs your logo. What's your logo supposed to look like? What can people see when they see your logo or your name, right? What people feeling is important. That experience is important, and the experience, like I said, is a sum total. Feel, yeah, touch if it's something they can touch. Talk about what do people say about it. What do you also say about your brand? Now, branding is a packaging of all of this. It's a packaging of what? All of this to make your brand stand out and to make your brand different from another brand. So you might be selling the same thing, but then I'll tell you again, you do not sell the same thing. Yes, she sells clothes, you sell clothes, but you do not sell the same thing. And branding is what comes to play, because how person A feels your brand and that same person A will feel another brand should be different. It should not be the same thing. If it's the same experience with another brand, then there's something wrong, right? So branding sets you apart, sets your business apart, and yes, helps you 10x the profits you're looking to make from your business. So I'm here to say, to convince you and not to confuse you, that branding is as essential to your business, to your brand, as profit making is to you. So in short, I'm here to tell you, I'm here to convince you and not to confuse you that branding is as important to you, is as important to your business, to the longevity, to the survival and the growth of your business, as much as profit making is important to you. Until next time, cheers.